If you run Kubernetes nodes, AI workloads, agent tools, or managed AI services, today's action is clear. Patch exposed control plane and runtime components, then check whether service credentials or pod identities could be reused after compromise. The lead items are CVE 2026-50195 and CVE 2026-53492 in containered, plus CVE 2026-11720 in Google's MCP Toolbox and CVE 2026-45499 in Azure OpenAI. This is Daily Tech Hack Global for July 6, 2026. Source facts come from NVD and linked vendor advisories. CISA KEV returned HTTP 403 during this run, so I am not claiming KEV-confirmed exploitation. No proof of concept code, payloads, or attack steps are included. First, CVE 2026-50195 affects containered before the fixed releases listed by the advisory. NVD describes a CRI checkpoint import issue where image references in checkpoint metadata are not validated correctly. The practical impact is local image cache poisoning on a node, followed by other pods potentially running the wrong image under their own pod identity. NVD rates it critical with CVSS 9.9. Second, CVE 2026-53492 also affects containered before the fixed releases. NVD says checkpoint restoration can improperly trust container device interface annotations from untrusted checkpoint metadata. Where CDI is enabled and sensitive device specifications exist that can bypass normal Kubernetes resource allocation and device plugin enforcement. NVD rates it critical with CVSS 9.6. Why does this belong in an AI security briefing? Many AI services run on Kubernetes, use GPU devices, pull model images, and depend on pod identities to reach queues, object storage, vector databases, or internal APIs. A container runtime flaw is not just infrastructure housekeeping. It can affect the trust boundary under model serving, data pipelines, and agent backends. Third, CVE 2026-11720 affects Google API's MCP Toolbox. NVD describes a path traversal problem in an HTTP tool URL builder, where user-controlled path parameters can escape the operator-configured path scope on the same host while the toolbox forwards configured credentials. MCP is designed to let agents use tools. That makes path allow lists, credential scope, and audit logging essential. Update when a fix is available, restrict tool definitions to least privilege, and review calls to sensitive endpoints. Fourth, CVE 2026-45499 affects Azure OpenAI. NVD summarizes it as server-side request forgery that allows an authorized attacker to elevate privileges over a network, with CVSS 9.9. Follow Microsoft's advisory, review network exposure, and monitor unusual service activity. Defensive checklist, update containered to fixed versions 2.3.2, 2.2.5, or 2.1.9 where applicable, review Kubernetes nodes that allow checkpoint restore or CDI, prefer always pull policy for sensitive workloads until cache trust is understood, limit pod service account privileges, rotate credentials if a node or workload may have run untrusted images, patch MCP Toolbox and Azure OpenAI dependencies according to vendor guidance, and log agent tool calls as identity events. Bottom line, AI security is not only about prompts. It is also about runtimes, tool connectors, image caches, device access, and the credentials that automation forwards on your behalf. Patch quickly, reduce scope, and make every agent or workload prove what it is allowed to reach before it acts.